In this video, I'll show you how to use the Photoshop script batch multi-save. The script scans a folder for images, performs selected transformations, and saves copies in up to 4 common formats. This is similar to existing scripts like Image Processor, included with Photoshop, but this script adds some features you might find useful. Stick around to see all the script can do. I'll demonstrate with 2 examples and explain the options as we go. I already have a Photoshop action to run the script. For help setting up scripts in Photoshop, see the link in the description for another video that shows the steps. Let's get started. The original idea for this script was to automate saving final files after color correction and retouching. Most clients want a CMYK TIFF for print and RGB JPG and PNG for web at lower resolution. I grew tired of doing these multiple saves manually for every image, so I wrote this script to handle it. For the first example, let's make final files for a project. Here are 6 images I got from unsplash.com, then set up similar to a real job. They've been masked and a shadow made, for example. To run this script, open the Actions panel. Go to the Window menu, Actions. In the list, select the script Batch Multi-Save. Click the Actions panel Play button to run the script, which displays the interface. The interface has 4 primary sections, and within the second section, 4 subsections. First is Input. Click the Folder button to select the folder of images to process. There is the option to process any extension, or only some extensions. Also a checkbox to include subfolders if desired. The PDF, AI, EPS options I'll explain in the next example. The second section is the formats to output. Choices are PSD, TIFF, JPG, and PNG. The third section is Output. This is to either save copies alongside the input files in folders as specified, or choose another folder. There's also the option to replace files. If disabled and a file already exists, the user is prompted how to handle it. The last section is Settings. Click the Load drop-down, and we can choose Save Settings. I already have a few. For this first example, I'll use Print and Web. In the second section, there are 4 subsections for each of the formats to output. To include any format, click the button Save in Folder. And if desired, change the name of the folder that will be created. In each subsection for each format, most options are the same, but a few are unique to each format. Of the shared options, first is Convert to Profile. If enabled, select the desired profile. This is how to convert RGB to CMYK, for example. Next is to adjust pixels per inch, and an input to enter the value. The transformation can be either set or resample. Set doesn't alter the pixel dimensions. It just indicates how many per inch. Resample, on the other hand, retains the dimensions in inches and instead resamples the image to arrive at the new pixels per inch. For example, say an image is 3,000 pixels wide by 3,000 pixels tall at 300 pixels per inch. That means it is 10 inches square. Change to 72 and the option Set, and the image is still 3,000 by 3,000. But now 41.66 inches square. On the other hand, use Resample, and the image becomes 720 by 720 pixels. The same 10 inches square, but now it's 72 pixels per inch. Next is Maximum Pixels. This is a limiter, good for making web images. For example, I limit my web images to no taller than 800 pixels and no wider than 1200 pixels. This doesn't make the image exactly these dimensions. It just limits pixels in either direction. For example, if an image is square, it would end up no larger than 800 pixels square, because it hits the height limit before the width limit. Next are the path options. You may keep all paths, discard all paths, or specify the paths to keep. Click Paths to Keep and another dialog appears. You can specify paths by name, keep the first path, or keep any path set to the clipping path. The last option, Vector Masks, is special. For shape layers, it will save the path and keep it. Enable this option for TIFF so we can see it in action when processing these images in a moment. One of the images, I've added a shape layer to demonstrate this. Notice the PNG format doesn't have the path options. PNG doesn't support paths. The last few options vary depending on the format. For PSD and TIFF, you may keep layers, merge to a single layer, or flatten the image. For JPEG, layers aren't supported, so the image is always flattened. PNG can have a single layer or be flattened. JPEG and PNG have the option to rename for web. This replaces spaces with dashes, so names don't end up with %20 in place of spaces, the hex value for a space character. JPEG has the option to embed the color profile and to set the JPEG quality. Higher values are better quality, 12 being the maximum. A good value for web images is 5 to 8. PNG has the option to set the bit depth, 24 bits full color or 8 bits index color. I have the input set to the folder of the images for this first example. Click OK to get started. A progress bar appears while processing the images. Once complete, the user is notified. Let's look at the TIFF image with a shape layer. You can see the result is a single layer, and the shape layer was merged with the rest. Because the option to save and keep the shape layer path was enabled, here it is in the Paths panel. The web folder has both JPEG and PNG formats. You can see the JPEGs are flattened. But because we didn't flatten PNG, these retain transparency. This is good for web use on a colored background. The image won't have a white box. That demonstrates the original intent of the script. Next, I'll show another use I realized. Here's a PDF I exported from a mock magazine layout, in spreads and full resolution. From this, I want images for a website. Run the script and select the folder where the PDF is located. I have settings for this: PDF images to web JPEG. The extension to process is set to PDF. Click the button PDF AI EPS Options. I've selected the PDF option Images. The other two options make images of the entire PDF page, either the first page only or all pages. For this purpose, I want the images. I'm saving to JPEG, 72 pixels per inch, and no larger than 1200 by 800. And rename for web, no profile, quality 8. Click OK. The script extracts each image from the PDF and saves a JPEG. A benefit of this approach, using the print PDF as the source, each image is cropped the same as used in the print layout. Now let's look at the results. Notice the file names are ready for web use, no spaces, and no image is larger than 1200 by 800 pixels. There's two examples of using this script. Another is converting duotones to CMYK, or color to grayscale, and more. If this solution works for you, like the video and subscribe to this channel. It keeps more videos coming.